Calling out straight.
Well, we're live, so it doesn't matter. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Swirl Suite. My name is Sarita. Follow me at Vine Me Up, or on Twitter. You can see my handle behind me. We are talking Black people today. I love it. I love it. We're talking Blacks bottling, Blacks in wine, Blacks in beer, Blacks in spirits, and we have a special guest today. Please introduce yourself, Shoes and Booze.
Hi, I'm Nafeesa, the editor of Shoes and Booze. You can find me personally. I'm Style Scribe on social media, and then everything else is Shoes, the letter N, Booze, blog. And so Shoes and Booze has existed for a few years now, and we basically focus only on shoes and alcohol, whether it's wine or spirits. We haven't gotten quite into beer yet, but we'll make our way soon. I guess that's the basics of me.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Tanisha?
Hey, I'm Tanisha, Girl Meets Glass, and I'm a girl, and I meet glasses of things to drink. I write about places I go, things I drink, and travels and stuffs. So, yeah, I'm Girl Meets Glass on all social media. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Google+, Tumblr. Hit me up. I'm here for you.
Melissa?
Hi, everyone. I am Melissa Davis Taylor. I guess I have to add the hyphenation to my name now, officially.
You do. Oh, sorry.
Officially known as Liquor Lady. So it all started off as a blog, and it turned into part marketing strategy agency for food and drink brands. And the other side of the house is what we call the School of Fun Stuff. So distillery tours, cocktail crawls, classes for liquor and cocktail connoisseurs. So you can find me at liquorlady.com, on Twitter, liquor_lady, and Facebook, Liquor Lady.
Yay. So, I want to start out with our Did You Know? So, Did you know that...
No.
Right, pretty sure.
Did you know that there's a new documentary releasing, I think, this spring called Red, White, and Black?
Yes.
Red, White, and Black.
Yes.
So it's a documentary based on Oregon winemakers who are all of color. So, and it's 5. I can tell you the 5.
All 2 of them.
No, there were 5.
I didn't know that. How did I not know this?
Okay. So, let me see if I can.
We're here for, girl. We are here to help.
Exactly.
It's fairly new.
Okay, so the first one is, I think I can say his name, Batroni Foston. He is Abbey Creek Vineyards. Okay,
yeah. Maya just did a scope about him.
Yeah, exactly.
He was drinking his wine in the scope. Yep.
Okay, the second one is Remy Drabkin, and he is Remy Wine in Oregon.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Let's see, and then we have Andre Mack, of course.
Yes.
Noir,
The
Oregon.
homie. Mouton
We
Noir.
just covered him.
Okay. Then, okay, I think this is Jesus Gillian or Gullen. Okay, and so this one is White Rose Estate, Oregon. And the last one is Gerard Sleet, and he is at Argyle Winery.
Yep.
So they're going to cover those 5. And, release this.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
really like Argyle. I did not know that.
Yep.
Well, they just did their Kickstarter campaign in September, so it's a fairly new endeavor. Yeah. So I just found out about a week ago.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Right. Okay, so I got 2 more.
Did
you know, there is a Black-owned wholesaler in D.C., and he has wine, liquor. He has mostly beer, like craft beers, but it's called Pipeside Traders.
What? Hold on now.
Oh, is it
Uh-oh.
Pipetown? Is it Pipe?
Melissa's gonna go highlight them for some business.
It's called Pipetown Traders, and it's on Pennsylvania Avenue in Southeast, near Potomac Avenue Station, DC.
Southeast.
Southeast. Yes. So, and yeah, he's a wholesaler, and I think his hours are Wednesday through Saturday, something like 4 to 9 or something like that. But wholesale craft beers, and he's big on ciders. I think he said he has the biggest cider collection in DC.
Oh, Melissa's gonna roll through.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, I feel so bad, like having lived in DC for so many years.
Listen, The only
right.
I just found out this week. Found
Wow.
out this week. So
Okay.
don't feel too bad.
We have got to do a better job as Black folks.
I know. And my last one, I found
Did
this
you
out
know?
through Maia, who is the wine mistress. You guys can follow her on Periscope. She's huge in Periscope. Anyway,
Oh, wow.
so there is a new reality show called Best Bottle that's coming out soon. And it's going to be, is it going to be California versus Oregon? Is that right, Tanisha? It's okay. I got the link here. Hold on.
Right.
It's
I'm
better
like,
come on to the
oh,
East
no,
Coast
no,
now.
it's a
I'm
reality
not prepared.
show. It's a reality TV show, and they're gonna have like all these challenges and stuff, and I think it's gonna be California versus Oregon. Hold on, here it is. Hold on.
This is what I aspire to be my future job. That's right.
Wouldn't that be fun?
That's
That'd
right.
be so nice. All right, hold on.
No, I don't want to host that. I don't want to be in no challenges. Don't test me.
I
mean,
want to be behind the
I won't act right on the reality show. Like, you can't come for me that way to be coming for people on them reality shows.
Girl,
because
you
Good for
girl.
I'll embarrass
For no reason they watch.
my whole family. No.
Gosh, now I can't find it. But yeah, so it's gonna be something
Oh,
that's
no.
But yes,
Best bottle.
fun stuff.
Right.
Yes, Best Bottle.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have
There's so
these
much
watch
happening.
parties. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yes.
Yeah. And did everybody watch Psalm Inside the Bottle yet on Amazon?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
It's in my queue though.
Yeah.
Oh, but the
I don't have a
gentleman.
queue.
Oh no,
I don't
the
think they
guy-
have that in this country.
There's an
Oh.
African American on there. What's his name? Delin or
Dylan, yeah. What's his last name? Is it
Proctor.
Proctor. There you go.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all my Did You Know. So now we can start talking about Black people and tell me what you're drinking. Melissa, you can go first. I know you're prepared.
We gotta let the
'cause
guests go
Melissa,
first.
Do you have a Did You
Yes.
Know?
Oh no, there's no. Well, I'll give you some statistics later, but
Okay.
it'll be interesting.
Melissa coming with the numbers.
Only because. All right. Well, I'll go ahead and go since it'll be a good kickoff.
Okay.
I am drinking a cider, not by an African American, but
Okay.
on purpose. So I'm drinking
Oh.
Blue Bee Argonne 1904. So it's a local cidery here in Richmond. And the reason I'm drinking it today is because last Wednesday they hosted an event about blacks in cider.
Oh.
So I know.
Wow.
How long
It
was
was
that
really
event?
cool.
30 minutes? What happened?
Yeah, well-
Was it long? No, real talk. Like, seriously, no.
Well, I got to moderate, and so it was Blacks in Cider, Blacks in Richmond, Blacks in the restaurant industry, and it was pretty cool.
Okay.
There was a panel. So one guy was a local historian, and Emmanuel Dabney, Emmanuel, I forgot his last name off the top of my head, but he was doing research on slaves' impact on the cider industry back, picking apples, working the fields, that kind of stuff.
Oh, wow.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
There was another gentleman, Chauncey, was on the panel. He works at a historic hotel here, the Jefferson. So he talked about Bojangles and some of the wait staff that came through the Jefferson and, shucking and jiving and, getting tips and sort of that progression. And then there was a woman, Kelly Lemon. She's the general manager at a Black-owned restaurant, Mama J's here. And so, Mama J is seasoned at this point, but she has been around and seen it all. They're in a historic Black neighborhood. So she talked about how they chose their location, on and on and on. But what I'll share with you guys, and I wanted to do this because I think I found it interesting in the last couple years, all of the discussions that I have been to about Blacks in spirits, wine, beer, anything, have been held by white folks.
Mhm.
So I wanted to give them a shout out anyway. But so some of the numbers that I found. So anybody have a sense of how many breweries or wineries are in the country, in the U.S.?
Oh.
No wineries. Come on now. Come
No
on.
clue.
There are about 8,000 wineries in the U.S., if you can
Wow.
believe it. There are about 4,100 breweries, 700 craft distilleries, and just over 400 cideries in the U.S. We're doing it when it comes to alcohol. But any guesses on what percentage of wineries in the U.S. are Black-owned?
Oh, it's low, because I think the number's like under 20.
Yeah. It
Oh,
grew
come
a
on.
little, but it's
Yeah,
not.
that number's under 20. It might be like 11 or 12.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like we are. Well, there's been some growth.
Yeah.
And they'll, consider winemakers and all that, but it's less than 5%. It's
Yeah.
probably like 4% at high.
Mhm.
And then breweries are about the same. They're about, what they say, a couple dozen master brewers or owners of breweries. Spirits and cider are totally worse off.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just wanted to throw it out there because there are so few. But one of the interesting things I did find about Virginia, not that you guys are in Virginia, but black agriculture, so farmers that are black have dwindled. So in 1920, 14%, 2012, less than 2% of farmers that are black. But in Virginia, we are the sixth highest state in terms of apple production. So think about your cider.
Wow.
We are the ranked fifth in terms of wine grape production. So think about your wines.
Wow.
We're investing heavily in hop production because we're quickly, what do we have? 142 craft breweries in the state. And then we make a ton of corn, which you use for moonshine and bourbon and stuff like that. And we make a ton of wheat, which you use in vodka. So, I kind of came at it from a different direction that, us in Virginia or in agricultural places, agriculture is our number one industry in Virginia.
Absolutely.
Blacks are getting cut out. So it's not just at the top, it's also at the bottom. So I know that wasn't like a super positive story, but I think it puts in perspective all the brands that we're going to talk about.
Let's get into that. And let's get into that. And I'm glad you did bring it up from a numbers standpoint, because I'm wondering, is that because we're being cut out or because that's something that we're not even looking to get into?
Right.
I was wondering the same thing.
Because I look at that the same way we have, STEM for science, technology, engineering, and math, and how you don't see that many of us there.
Yeah.
Is that because we don't want to be there? Or I think it might be an issue of this might be something that we don't even think is even available to us or is even an option.
Right.
And I'm saying this from like my standpoint because of what I do. Until I met the people that I met and kind of, saw this whole world open up to me, I didn't even know something like this existed.
Yeah.
I thought when it came to liquor, it was like, okay, I work at the liquor store, or maybe like I sell to the liquor store, or I'm a girl in a little Hennessy t-shirt walking around with the tray asking, do you want a shot? Like, I thought that was all there was.
Right.
Until I got in it myself, did I realize, oh, you can teach it. There are distributors, there are importers.
Yeah.
There's marketing, there's social media, there's consulting. Like my parents, when I would talk about, okay, well, I'm going out for drinks, okay, I'm going to do this, they were like, oh my goodness, we have to talk to her because clearly
my family is the same way.
And this is something that we just really are concerned with. Not until I told them that I was going to be teaching a class, they really were like, oh wait, this is for real. Like, you know what you're doing. I was like, yeah, so it's Professor Townsend and you all. And they were like, okay, first of all, it's still Tanisha, and calm down. But they were like, okay, this is like a legit thing. If you are standing in front, of a college course, you have a syllabus, you are teaching a class, like you're doing this. Okay, this is like a real career.
Right.
And something that you can actually, go forth and do. All right, we can tell our friends now. We kind of proud of you. Good job.
And
I don't think people know that this exists.
Yeah, I just read an article. This is on the consumption side, but it was an article saying that why black people aren't into craft beers.
I read that, and I'm so glad you mentioned that because I'm bringing that up.
Yeah, and it was crazy because they're gosh.
Thrillist or Eater?
Yeah, it was. I think it was Thrillist. I think it was Thrillist. I will tweet it, but it was pretty much saying that it's just something that we haven't got into, and it's not even an inviting environment for a lot of black people. When you think of craft beers, you think of white boys and
and hipster white guys.
Absolutely.
So
you think the hipster ones, and you're like, no.
So if we can't even like consume it enjoyably, what makes you think we can work in that type of environment and start making beer? So
right.
I definitely think there are a couple things, and I agree with you guys. There were a couple articles I found. You just don't find craft beer in a lot of places, in a lot of neighborhoods where African Americans are growing up.
Right.
A lot of the mass beers are truly targeting African Americans. So you're not,
sorry.
It's okay.
That was supposed to be turned off.
I was like,
it was turned off. I don't know why it's still going on here.
Right, low key, let me turn mine off.
Right. Like,
because my joint is on high in bird.
Okay. Now I have to check and make sure I've turned it completely off.
You are all good. But no, I think that's a big thing. Like a lot of African Americans, a lot of blacks didn't grow up with, especially craft beer in their convenience stores, in their neighborhood stores,
Right.
things like that. So they didn't grow up with it. And then they don't see a lot of
Right.
people around them drinking it.
Right.
And a lot of the brands.
I thought craft beer was new.
It is. It's new to us.
Like a few years ago, I thought it was a new thing.
Yeah.
It's to us.
I'm telling you, to us it is.
But they've been brewing beer in their bathtub for a minute, right next to the
Right.
gin. Like
Yep.
they've been doing that.
And then who's the gentleman? Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name at Brooklyn Brewery. Garrett.
Oh yeah, him.
He's been in the game for what? Since at least 2010, and
Yeah,
that's
he's
like
been
the
in it.
elder statesman.
Right, I was gonna
there's
say,
a-
and for us
there's
that seems
another
like a while.
There's a female one in Harlem.
Yes, Harlem
Yeah.
Brewing.
Yeah,
What is her name? Oh dear.
it's okay.
I'm gonna have to go check that out. It's my
I
area.
got the site up. Hold on. It's not moving fast enough for me.
Garrett Oliver is the guy from Brooklyn Brewery.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see if I've got her name real quick.
What is her name?
This is so funny.
Ain't it?
I feel like I had to do research for this call. I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, yeah.
I knew you was gonna do research, and I was just gonna talk to your research. So,
Uh-oh.
but I got some notes up. I got some stuff pulled up on my
Okay.
other screen. Don't be discounting me.
No, not just going now.
What is that girl's name? Anyway.
I know. So, Celeste Beatty. Celeste Beatty from Harlem Brewery.
Okay.
Yep. She's the brewmaster for Harlem Brewing Company. So you've got two right around the way up in New York. But
Yeah, now I have to contact them and check them out and put them on the blog. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and it's so hard because like Garrett, he's a master brewer, but Celeste is actually like master brewer, owner, all that kind of stuff. And then there was a new brewery, Black Frog, that opened up in Toledo, Ohio.
Oh, get out of here. That's where my family is from.
Oh, excuse me. Go find him. Black owns everything, and it's in Ohio. So
Wow.
there are a couple of them. There are definitely a couple of them on the come up from the beer side. And I can tell you, I'm not really a beer drinker though. So I fall into the stereotype. So
I'm similar. I'm trying to get my beer.
like that. I am not. I won't say I'm a beer drinker. There are beers that I will drink, but I'm not one that's going to go out and be like, oh well, let me try this. Let me try this. I like a certain style. Like I like a lighter Belgian beer. I like blondes. I like wheat beers. So I'll be experimentative and try a new wheat beer, but like stout and no.
yeah,
Maybe an ale, but some of the other stuff, IPAs and the lagers. Nah.
Yeah, I'm not an IPA drinker at all. Now I'll drink porters and stouts because I feel like they're pretty welcoming into the fold. It's pretty soft, pretty well rounded, but kind of the wheat beers are more my thing too. So
Yeah, I'm like, I need light, because when I want a beer, like I want it to be light and refreshing, and stouts always feel heavy. Like Guinness, I just feel like it just sits on you and it feels just so heavy and.
Yep.
Oof.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty to pour it when you hit it from the draft, but
Then I was going to say, there's one more before I know, because I want to know what you guys are drinking, because I know there's some wine out there. But on the beer front, there's another black-owned brewery down in New Orleans. What is it? Cajun. It's Cajun. I want to say Cajun Brewery. But it's black-owned down in New Orleans.
I'm going there in April, so I'm going to have to check that out.
Okay, I'll see if I can find the name.
If you're going to April, you have to check out our homegirl from our last hangout.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, definitely put us in touch. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a bartender at the Ace Hotel.
Cool.
Love me some Ace.
Down there. Yeah.
All right,
Wait, that's right. I think I saw her talk about that when I checked out the last hangout. I remember that because I was like, I have to check her out when I go. She said she was getting ready to move in.
Yep, she is there.
Well, make sure to check out Cajun Fire Brewing. That's what it's called.
Okay.
I like it. Cajun Fire.
I know, right?
And I was just there in a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
Cool. So that's all I got when it
Oh.
comes to beer. Like I tell you right now, I'm all beered out. Got nothing else in the coffers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have nothing at all. So, you know, beer not my thing. I'm like, who make Corona?
Constellation.
Who make Corona? Where does Heineken come from? Delirium, that's Belgian. See, like I could name you not one beer crafted in America. So I'm out.
It's all good. It's all good. All right, what are you
Okay.
drinking, Tanisha?
Oh, I'm not drinking anything black owned. I don't have access to it like that. Like but I have been trying to get my hands on. There is a champagne brand that's owned by a black guy, and I'm
Huh.
trying to find the information on that, but I can't seem to find that. But what I do have is the information on Maison Elan, which is owned by Ray Walker, and he is a black guy from African American
Oh gosh.
gentleman
Girl,
from California, and he is in the Nuit Saint Georges region of Bourgogne or
That's
Burgundy.
awesome.
And so
Nice.
he actually lived in California, and he was in finance, and then he got married, and his wife kind of showed him how wine complemented meals, and you know how things went together. So he was like, "Oh, this seems kind of cool." So he started doing a little reading about it and getting more information. Then he went to a wine event, tasted 10 Burgundies, and was like sold. Was like, "This is what wine should taste like. This is amazing. I'm hooked." And so he started doing harvest and, you know, working in winery in California. He eventually left his job in finance and then came over to France in Burgundy. And he started looking to get Pinot Noir grapes.
Mm.
And yeah, he had no formal wine education, no consultant or anything, just knowing the basics. And he joined Nuit Saint Georges in 2010. And they have a home, a winery in Cobb there, and they've been making wine since then.
Wow.
Very nice.
And so you can
Wow.
follow him on. I follow him on Instagram. He doesn't post that often, but you can see, you know, a few pictures of like some of the bottles, some of the bottling, some of the vineyard and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then of
Taking
course
over
when
the
it-
world.
Right, and so I wanted to mention that one since it is in France. When I find a guy from Champagne, then I'll do like maybe I'll do a Periscope or some other post or something on there. But I was really trying to find his information. But there was someone who told me about him, and so I'm like, oh wait, Champagne, I need to talk to him because like I go to Champagne, like I was just in Champagne the other day.
Oh
So,
my God. How you
I
just
would
did
definitely-
Champagne the other day? Sorry, I'm
It's 45 minutes away. It's
I'm like, who says that?
I can barely afford champagne, and you just going
You
to
know what?
champagne.
It's 45 minutes. It's 45 minutes away. That's just like you saying, "Oh, so I just went to Baltimore. I'm gonna come right back."
Not
Like,
quite the same. Not
But
quite.
that's so different. Baltimore Champagne.
Right. Uh-huh.
so, anywho, I would definitely like to go back and look for him because they actually have this event called Champagne Week, and it's at the end of April.
Oh, wow.
And
We actually
so-
have a Champagne Week in New York as well.
Really? What happens?
Yeah,
Is it like a conference kind of thing?
a bit. It's actually not. It's not run by Black people, but it is something where there are events at different restaurants.
Yeah.
Restaurants have special menus. The young lady, she helps curate the menus and the champagne pairing for those restaurants. And then, like I said, they have events and parties.
Wow.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
Very,
Yeah.
Huh.
We love our bubbles.
Yeah, we certainly,
Yeah.
certainly do.
Yeah.
Well, Nafeesa, I think it's your turn. So,
Yeah.
what are you
It's
drinking?
okay, so what I'm drinking right now is not Black owned.
Okay.
It's Four Roses bourbon, and
Okay.
I found out a few months ago that was my grandfather's favorite drink, so I've been a little obsessed lately. So, and then
Your
also
grandfather
I
had
ended up. Say it again.
Your grandfather had great taste.
Oh yeah, thank you. So and the other reason I'm drinking it is because also on the blog for Valentine's Day I was in a challenge to come up with a cocktail recipe featuring Four Roses bourbon.
Ooh.
So I kind of dedicated it to him. You know, he grew up in Alabama where they sop up their biscuits with Alaga syrup.
That's right.
And there's a lot of corn element in that syrup, so I decided to see what it would taste like if I mixed it with Four Roses bourbon, which also has a heavy corn flavor as well and aroma. And it came out really good. I kind of ripped on the old fashioned and just replaced the simple syrup with the Alaga, and it was good. So I'm still working on that bottle here, and that's what I'm sipping.
Gotcha.
If I had connected with you ladies sooner, I'd probably be drinking a bottle of Booz vodka, which is a black-owned company, and they are partially based out of here in New Jersey. So they're actually doing some of their launch events in Charlotte right now, so I wasn't able to. But if I actually am invited to come back, I will have a bottle on hand.
Is that the purple bottle? It almost looks like lightning.
The late.
You know what? It's like a black bottle. It's a black label.
I thought you were saying Foudre.
Yeah.
No, Booz.
Oh, Booz. I don't know that one.
I don't know.
They're brand new. It hasn't even really gone to market yet. They're getting ready to push it to market. But one of the owners is based here in Jersey. So that's like a hometown connection, basically.
Oh,
that's awesome.
And it's two black women, both moms. So I thought their story was really cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard. Sorry, I'm looking it up. I'm nosy now.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I really thought you were saying Foudre, because in D.C., there's a woman who started a vodka brand called Foudre, African-American woman.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know about that one.
Yeah. That's what the bottle looks like. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it. No, I hadn't seen that yet.
Yeah.
And then
Chanel. I'm going to have to reach out to her.
Yeah.
She's super nice. Like,
and that vodka is super delicious.
It's good.
It's very good.
Yeah.
I had a bottle. Unfortunately, that was my Super Bowl cocktail, and so I used their vodka to make that. So, my bad.
I had a bottle, but then, I moved. So
well.
That was
I could have taken that off your hands.
I know. I could have taken care of that.
Storage. I could have held it for you.
That too, yeah.
I would have never seen that bottle again.
Hey, you
absolutely not.
Right.
You could have seen the bottle, you just wouldn't have seen the content.
We'd have been on the hangout. That joint would be like behind her head on the fireplace, man. So
it sure would. I'd have a shelf right here on the wall just for it.
I've been looking at Melissa like, wait a minute, that looks vaguely familiar.
Okay, so is it my turn?
Yeah.
It can be.
So I got two. I have two.
Of course.
So I finally found McBride sisters. True
Yes, I love them.
Yeah.
They're so sweet.
Yes. So their wines are hard to find. Then I just found a blogger. It's like, girl, go to Harris Teeter's. And I was like, what?
What?
So this was $13.99 at Harris Teeter. It's their Chardonnay, 2013. So the McBride sisters, if you don't know their story, they didn't know each other for a number of years until their dad passed away.
Forever.
Yeah. Their dad passed
away. They were adults.
And let's see, they were 16 and 15 at the time, and their aunt reunited them. Then
I thought there was a bigger age difference. One of them was like married by then. She was in her 20s.
One was 16 and one was 25. And then they're now, I don't know, they're now 41 and 33.
Yeah.
But they're Robin and Andrea. And yes, they met in 1999 after their father passed away, blah, blah, blah. And they discovered that they both grew up in the wine, like near wine, and they loved wine. So the younger one grew up in New Zealand and the older one in California. Eventually, they both ended up in California. And they have two lines. They have a New Zealand line, and then they have a California line. And so this one is the California line, Trouvé.
Right.
And so, yeah.
So can I just
I chime in a little bit on that one?
Please.
Okay, because I actually got a chance to meet them when they were here in New York last year. And first of all, they're extremely sweet. And they love shoes, too.
Oh, nice.
And so, and you gave a good synopsis of their story. I thought it was so uncanny how, and it was one of those things, they said something about Oprah, like their uncle was watching Oprah, and they gave tips on how to find people you've lost, and that's how the family was able to, piece them together and find it, and then everything else in their story was, kismet. The one from New Zealand happened to be visiting the States, and the other one it's just during that time, so it worked out. And then I know that their other one, the Echo Love wine, is the one in New
Yes.
Zealand. But yeah, those women are incredibly sweet, incredibly nice, incredibly gracious. And if you ever get a chance to meet them, like, please do.
Yeah, they were in DC promoting their wine a few years ago, and I just missed them. But yeah, and they're gorgeous. Oh my gosh, they are
They
gorgeous.
are.
Yeah, they kind of
Even more so in person. They're tall too. Yeah.
Are they tall? Wow.
Yes, they're tall.
Do you guys know what company they're affiliated with? Who's doing their marketing and stuff?
They're
Diageo.
I know that they work under Diageo.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Oh.
And at the time, Taylor Strategy was doing their PR.
Yep. That's what I mean. Like, these ladies are set up for success from, you know, from a
absolutely.
industry corporate perspective. They're not just two ladies doing their thing. They're affiliated with the largest spirits company in the world.
Wow.
Yes.
That's awesome.
They're
Well,
like that. I thought that was huge with
this
them.
is the first time I've had it, and I haven't had any of their other wines. Have you guys tasted any of their other wines?
I haven't.
No?
I did. I had their the red.
Oh, okay.
I think it was a red mix, and I'm having a problem remembering what it was, but I did. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I really did. You know, we tasted both the Chardonnay and then we tasted their red, and I enjoyed it. It was really fragrant. It wasn't a super heavy flavor, but it was like a good sipper with your girlfriend. Okay. You know, and that price point is good for like hanging out. And it wasn't super aggressive. It was really easily approachable.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have my second wine. Ido Heist. So,
cool.
So, Ido Heist is a mulled wine, and let me see. I wrote down the winemaker's name. So it's two guys. So one guy's name is Rimpt Peters, and I think he's the German guy, and Rodney Frost is the DC guy. So he's a native Washingtonian, and he was a government contractor, and he just got. I think he traveled to Switzerland. And he fell in love with this mulled wine there, and he just decided to come back home and start making mulled wine from 100% organic grapes. I could only find this at Yes Market. They only sell it at Yes Market. It's $18. It's in this reusable bottle, so y'all know I'm gonna keep that.
I love those bottles.
Yeah, right. But it's from mulled wine and from organic ingredients and spices, and this is what it looks like. It smells like when you like cook cranberries, like maybe you're making a cranberry simple syrup or something, and you cook cranberries, and it smells like this is gonna make a good winter cocktail, like maybe in a hot toddy or something like that. But
so now I have to get into it with a shoe pairing or something on the site for winter.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I wanted to ask, so totally not related to that wine, but when you threw out shoes, have you heard of a woman, Gwen Hurt, down here in Richmond that does Shoe Crazy wines?
Yes, we actually featured her in the post about black wine and spirits brands that drew you to us and us to you.
Very cool.
That was my first time hearing of her when I was doing the research for that post. But I'm dying to try it, and also, of course, because I'm Shoes and Booze, I'm like, I have to meet her. We have to talk.
I was totally sorry to interrupt you. That's what Shoes made me think of. I'm going to have coffee with her next month. I haven't met her, but that's what, if I hadn't been so lazy today, that was the wine I was supposed to be drinking because it's at the Kroger right down the street. But I will let you know.
And I haven't even had a chance. Please do, or I'm definitely going to have to see if there's a way to find it here in Jersey. I think we only have one store that has a huge selection, and usually you'll have things that are a little bit more new. But I'm going to have to look out for all of these, and even if not, I just have to figure out who does their marketing and figure out if there's a way.
I have a question for you about Shoes and Booze. So you guys are a blog, and what do? You pair shoes with wines in your blog posts, or you have events where you can shop and drink wine?
We do, right now it's mostly the blog. So we do pair shoes with cocktails. Occasionally it'll be with like a wine, but most of the time it's with cocktails. If you're this woman in this mood, you wear this shoe and drink this drink. But we also
we're going to have to connect. We got to connect.
Yeah. We also do what we call Booze Clues, which is where our, Black-owned wine and spirits brands came in. So it's, if there are 5 things you should know about something. So it may be 5 reasons that whiskey is great for winter, or 5 things you should know, like 5 brands you should know. It's that kind of thing. So we do a few things. We do the Booze Clues. If there's something super new happening in the industry that the basic drinker would like to know, then it would be under Booze News. We do reviews as well. We haven't done one in a while. We used to do them on camera. But that's something we're looking at getting back into. I say we. It's pretty much me, but I'm claiming we because at some point it won't be just me anymore.
Me is the new we.
Use the entire person. Right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Girl meets glass.
Right. We have hosted a couple of events. Well, I on behalf of Shoes and Booze, have hosted a couple of events, and I plan to have some more going on this year. Actually, in April here in Jersey, I'll be co-hosting the Brown Girls Bar Crawl.
Oh, nice.
So that's...
Come on with it.
What you say? You coming up?
When are you doing that Brown Girls Bar Crawl? That's when I'll be there.
I have a call for it this Wednesday to actually finalize our date, but like I said, we're looking at April. And it'll be here in Jersey City because that's where I'm from. Usually it's in another county, but since I'm from here, we thought it would be a great idea to bring a bunch of brown girls to the new and emerging bar scene here in Jersey City. So I am getting further into hosting and throwing events. So that's something to kind of be on the lookout for, because there will be more of that coming soon.
Oh, wow. Awesome. So does anybody have any other black winemaker or liquor maker or beer maker that they like?
Any that are different that we haven't mentioned before? No, I don't think so. Because we've mentioned Mac McDonald of Vision Cellar several times.
Sure.
And then we've mentioned Marcus Johnson of Flow.
Yeah.
And we went to Rideau when we were out in California and met Iris. Didn't meet Iris, but owned by Iris Rideau when we went out to the Wine Bloggers Conference in California. What was that, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And then I think it's Running Tiger out of Texas, and then I think the guy Sharp, who's a doctor, and so he has his wines. I think it might be Sharp Cellars or something like that out of California. I'm trying to think of anyone else in wine. We've also mentioned Krishan Lampley before of Love Corkscrew out of Chicago.
Have you had those? I haven't had them yet.
I've had quite a few of those, yeah, and I met Krishan at a few events when I was in Chicago.
Where do you find them? Like, are they outside of Chicago yet? Because I love their packaging.
I don't think they are yet.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they're not available outside of Chicago just yet. So, but she's just gotten a lot of distribution within Chicago and is in a lot of stores in Chicago. A lot of the grocery stores, a lot of the liquor stores. So maybe something that you might be able to order. Yeah. I know they sell it at Benny's, which is a very large liquor store. Benny's is like a Total Wine, so you might be able to look at Benny's website and then get them from there.
Okay.
But she has like a long line of things that she has. She has a sparkling wine and a sweet red and a couple whites and some red blends. And yeah, those ones are pretty good. The red is solid, and then I also like the sparkling.
Yeah.
As far as, for my taste.
The only ones, I feel like Sarita had done an event there out at Wisdom Oak. It used to be Sugarleaf here in Virginia. Jerry
yes.
Yeah.
Black Owns Winery, I think the only one in Virginia.
Yep.
And then who's the guy, I want to say Jack from Brooklyn, Jack in Brooklyn, Sorrel.
Yeah, Sorrel Liquor.
Yes, I had that. Yeah. That is so, I was sitting here trying to remember. It's delicious.
It is good.
And Jack is
makes
cool.
Great cocktails. Yes, I met him at Manhattan Cocktail Passage a couple of years ago, and he was really, 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 really nice.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I'll say, sort of unrelated, but there's that big, I can't think of the name of it, but it's the Robotic Bartender. They're four black guys from Georgia Tech.
And,
they are It's a great
restaurant
product.
at the restaurant conference in Chicago, I met them, and
Yep.
we talked for a little while about their product. Yeah.
Mansoor, that's it. Mansoor,
Yep.
the bartender, the robot bartender, and it's a great story. They're 4 black gentlemen that graduated from Georgia Tech that created this. So I mean, it definitely intersects with our industry.
For sure.
And that would be Booz News.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, because some bartenders feel a way about it, but I think it does have its place, and there is a lane for it. I think it's, it's not going to take the place of like craft cocktails and craft bartending, but for places that
Right.
want to have a drink but don't want to have a bartender on staff, I think it's, a good idea.
Yeah,
And
like my
I think
house
it may
needs
even
one.
be better for real bartenders because, if it's a place where people are not known to really tip well, then you're pretty much wasting your time.
Yeah. That are not known to tip well and that, don't really want these fancy drinks. Like some people just want a
Right.
vodka cranberry. Some people just
Right.
want maybe a mojito. Well, I mean, he's a little more
Well,
complicated.
mojito, you
But
need a
some people
little.
might just want, right, you need a little some extra to it. But
You need a
might
human
just want,
touch on that.
right, you might just want like a rum and coke,
Right.
but if you want to get fancy, like, okay, a Cosmo or a
Cosmo,
daiquiri, but
exactly.
Yeah.
but these
But you know what?
things
I think I would be a
bartender
little
to
upset.
So I think these kind of things, a machine could do that. A machine could just
Well,
squeeze
see,
out some
I think I
cranberry
would
juice
get
and that kind of
upset
thing.
too, though, because the human element in bartenders and some of these places where you're just going to get something kind of simple is that you might be cool with that bartender and they have a nice pour for you, but that robot has no friends.
Right?
So, whereas I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to go over there because I know Melissa's going to treat me right if I order something
Right.
simple.
Yeah.
When I go see this robotic bartender, I'm pretty much going to get the 2-4 pour or whatever, and I'm not going to get my little hookup.
But I don't think that they would
So-
have. I don't think that they will have a machine in a place like that. Like, I don't think the machine.
No,
would be
I'm thinking
seated
someplace
in a
like, you know how
place,
they're- Like, they're
Oh,
going
no,
to start selling the wine in Barnes & Noble from what I hear. I could see a robot there.
Right, that's what I'm saying, something like that. Or maybe like, your lower end hotel, like, okay, you're at the Red Roof
Yes.
Inn,
There you
and
go.
Yeah.
no shade to Red
Select
Roof,
service
like a
hotels.
bar situation, but you
Right.
want a little cocktail before dinner or something like that.
Right.
Places like that where you don't need the
That
human
makes sense.
element of it, and you don't need a
Right.
fancy drink. I think that is perfect for that kind of situation.
Well,
Even
since
if
we
it's
were
just
on,
opening beer and wine.
Yeah.
since we were talking about mixology, I know Tanisha was with me, I think, back in 2013 when we went to that event down at Harlem
take it
Theater
back.
in DC, about blacks in mixology. And I know I was blown away, and I've done some of the reading, like Dave Wondrich has written about it and things like that.
Mhm.
But even there was a gentleman, Tom Bullock, who back
Bullock,
in
yep.
1917 was the first
Yes.
black to write a cocktail book.
Wow.
And,
I just saw about that, and now I want to get my hands on it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, good luck with that.
Yeah, they have there's a reprint, like a new edition or
I was
something.
about to say, I'm pretty sure they're reprinting. That's why it's back in the news.
Yeah.
Yep. But I couldn't believe how many just blacks had used sort of saloon keeping or bartending, as we call
Yep.
it,
Yeah.
as a way
Yeah.
to get some level of prestige
Mm.
back,
Mhm.
in the
Yeah.
early 1900s. I never
Yeah.
knew until those events came up. I thought that was pretty cool.
Well,
I
and
know.
even if you think about how a lot of our bars, like during the Harlem Renaissance, like during those times, during Prohibition,
Yeah.
we actually had more of an opportunity to come into like power in the liquor industry because the bars up in Harlem were the places where everybody wanted to go and get their entertainment and then also get their liquor. And
It's
we
funny
were
that
some of
you
the
say
bigger
that.
liquor runners too.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up because I'm reading The Last Call
Oh,
about the rise
okay.
and fall of Prohibition, and pretty much, liquor and spirits during Prohibition was like the only desegregated career
Mhm.
during
Yes.
that time. So, yeah, very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've become way more interested in our roles outside of owning liquor stores and drinking it. And like you said, being the bottle girl,
Mhm.
I'm learning more and more that we've had way more integral roles, even if we're a huge minority, like a very small minority of the people who are technically getting credit for producing it now. We've had a long history of being very necessary in this industry, and you know, the little history nerd in me is totally buzzing right now.
Yeah.
And the thing that's unfortunate is I feel like it's like that about a lot of industries. That we are the ones who kind of kick it off, and we're creating things and, you know, making it happen. And then we kind of drop off for whatever reason.
Right. I remember being, you know, earlier in the days of Shoes and Booze, I remember getting invited here because there weren't a lot of girls who were really interested in whiskey hardcore, and my blog is very, like, we write about things pretty casually. They're for the casual drinker. But my brain is interested in the deeper levels of things, and I remember going to events for a lot of these older bourbon brands, you know, the heritage bourbons, and being not only
you like you were crazy.
You know what's funny? They were actually really nice to me. They were very welcoming, and I think it was this kind of air of, like, being impressed at the fact that there was this young black woman who actually was interested in the process and not just in the product, and who also could come there and actually have some insight and know what I was talking about when we're tasting and different things like that. And now, you know, some years later, I'm seeing a lot more people who look like me at these events. And it's really cool. And then it's also interesting to talk to some of the ones that I've been seeing since the beginning, and what their take is on some of the newer faces that we're seeing, because it's you know, there are a couple of different cultures involved in the older guard and maybe the newer guard, and I'm finding that interesting.
Because you were OG, so you got to look at the other ones like,
you know, like I'm not I mean, I guess I'm an OG, but, like, even sitting here talking to you ladies, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much I need to know. Like, there's so much more for me to learn. I'm going to have to call them when we finish this chat and be like, listen, I need to talk to you every week because I want to learn more. What are you doing in D.C.? I'm going to hop on a train or a bus or something. I'm coming to visit. Like, we going to these places. When you coming to New York to go to some stuff with me, too?
It's all about Chinatown bus.
Oh, yeah, I know a lot of people that's doing it in New York.
Yep.
And I mean, I may or may not know some of them, but I would love to know more.
You probably do know the same people.
Yeah. I mean, I know that, even in New Orleans, there's the guy. Have you guys heard of Daniel Victory?
I've heard the name, but...
So he's got Victory Bar, and he's also, like, a pretty well-known bartender. Like, Liquor.com brought him up here for their, bar shift series, where they brought bartenders and restaurant owners to different cities to tend the bars. So I actually visited Victory Bar and coincidentally met him there, and he was really a cool young guy, and was talking about how hard it is for a black person to get a bar in downtown New Orleans where his is. Because his is, like, the only one I really know of that's pretty much in the middle of everything. And I think he recently opened up a new bar. I don't remember the name of it, but he might be a person to start following, like, to kind of keep track of.
Speaking of black bars, what are some of your favorite black bars or restaurants in your city?
Girl,
I'm going to write these down, so I'm ready when y'all are.
I'm listening.
Who's going first?
I'm like, I only got, like, one.
Even in Chicago, Tanisha, or, you know.
Oh, in Chicago.
Gosh, black-owned.
Bring it. Black-owned bar or restaurant.
I mean, we have a few here.
You can go first. I'm listening.
You've got a couple up in New York.
I like Angel of Harlem in New York.
Angel of Harlem. Angel of Harlem. Okay.
That was, I've had good experiences there.
Okay.
And I think it's called 67 Orange. That's actually where where Daniel Victory was behind the bar for the bar switch. So I've had good experiences there. It's really small, but they do real craft cocktails there. Like, I'm not mad at paying $16 for a drink, because I see somebody standing there and muddle and chop and zest and put some love into my drink.
I got a cosign on that one. I've been there one time, and it was really good. It was really good.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I feel like I've been to so many, and I'm drawing a blank now. So somebody else go while I think of some more.
Okay, I'm listening.
No, we all wanted you to go so we could think of ours.
So
we like
everybody, it's been all over the news, but Eatonville is now Mulebone.
Mulebone.
But
Yeah.
Eatonville, yeah, it's Mulebone now. And actually, the beverage director at Mulebone is going to be on our next hangout when we talk about wine and spirit careers. So check that out.
Awesome.
But Eatonville, before it changed over, was probably one of my favorite restaurants. It was yeah, the food was really good. I mean, their wine program was a little lacking, but you know, whatever. Hopefully it's improved, but I know they're supposed to be doing some really good cocktails now. What else? I like I like the typical. There is this little hole in the wall spot on U Street called Lounger 3. It is like, when I
Oh
tell
my
you,
God, I love that place.
hole in the
I
wall, but
love
they have
it.
the best music. They got the
They
best DJ,
do.
the best
Yep.
DJ, and like the cheapest drinks. When you
The
have
drinks are
like,
cheap.
I don't have
They
to
ain't
come
forgetting
there.
about nothing. I
I'm
mean,
telling
you
you,
just getting rum and coke. You're not getting
yeah,
nothing fancy.
you're not
But
getting
the
nothing
music
fancy.
be everything.
Keep it
That's
simple.
fine.
You go in there, and the DJ is rocking. And they got, I mean, you can get some wings. Just stick with wings. You know,
Stay simple.
don't
Keep it
order it.
simple.
Keep it simple. But you know, if you got $20 and it's a Friday night, that's where you go. Where
Yeah,
else do
you'll
I
be
like?
full and drunk.
Exactly.
Voila.
Exactly.
Voila.
There you
There's
go.
only one thing that'll make the situation better.
I'm telling you. I recently learned that Smith Commons here is Black owned. I did
Are you
not know that.
kidding me?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea.
It's on the list. It's on the list. I have a whole list. Yeah. Didn't know that.
Wow. I wish someone had told me back in the day.
Didn't know that.
I would have gone more often.
Yeah. And I think that's about it for me. I mean, Avery's is okay if I'm in the mood for all that, but y'all been to Avery's? Avery's? No? Okay. Yeah, it's a
Oh,
start.
every lounge. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's cool, you know. Shout out to the dude, that's, you know. No, I mean, shout out to him.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I got. And if I want some fish, I go to Horse and Dickie's, and that's Black owned. That's where you go for fried fish in DC, Horse and Dickie's. But,
Yeah,
yeah,
and
that's
you
all I
can come
got.
out with your entire body smelling like.
Yeah.
I've been there.
You been? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
it was on,
years ago I worked a charity
yeah.
weekend. And once you said you come out smelling like fish, I knew exactly where you were talking about.
Yeah.
I don't even remember how to get there. I just remember I came out and I needed to wash. I wanted to scratch my skin off, just one layer, so
Yeah.
because it felt like it was in my pores. I felt like I came out with a greasy face, but it was really good.
Yeah. Oh, and there is a fairly new wine bar. It's Ben 1301 on U Street, and that's Black owned.
Okay.
It's decent.
I did not know that was Black. Oh.
Yeah.
I got a question for you, Sarita.
Yes.
How do you find out that these places are Black owned? Do you just go and
probably be
follow
Oh no. Their lists that
I could start doing that too.
their lists
Walking in.
that circulate through Facebook and like Twitter and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And so yeah.
There's also that website I Don't Do Clubs. She tends to do
That's where I got it.
Yeah.
That's where I got it. That's
big
exactly where I
comprehensive
got it.
list
Yeah.
of Black-owned businesses.
Yep.
Okay.
So.
All right. I got to go find that because yeah.
She's easy to find. I Don't Do Clubs is super easy to find.
Yeah.
Okay. I got to go look because I will say I never know. You know, I may suspect, if I'm listening to the music or kind of looking at the clientele, I may suspect that it's Black owned, but I never know. Here, I would definitely say Mama J's. Mama J's is a great place in Richmond. Been around since 2007. Catfish nuggets, seafood salad, down home Southern food. Fantastic. Also Croaker Spot. So Croaker Spot's sort of an institution here in Richmond. It is soul food, seafood. So if you like seafood and cornbread and that kind of stuff, this is your place. Yeah, I'm kind of addicted to them.
Melissa,
and let's see.
question.
Yes.
After this, can you just email me this list really quickly? I have a cousin in Richmond, and she's always looking for somewhere to go, and I can't write as quickly as you're saying it or know how to spell it. So just email this to me so I can send it to her.
Absolutely.
Now continue. I just had to say while I was thinking about it.
No, I was gonna say. So yeah, Mama J's here, and then Croaker Spot, like Croaker the fish and Spot the fish. Croaker Spot.
Okay.
It's great. And then I'm trying to think other Black-owned places. Yeah, that's all I got coming to the top of my head.
Okay. Tanisha, what about you? You got any on the top of your head?
Out of Chicago, let's see. Restaurants, Batters and Berries. Batter and
Batters and
Berries. Oh my
berries.
goodness. They do so it's like packed for breakfast. They
Ah.
do like a lot of different styles of French toast.
Oh
Mm.
wow. Oh my
Ooh,
God, I would love that.
So like they'll
I need to
have
go.
like a
Road trip.
Mm.
strawberry.
Do they have good
Lemon.
mimosas? Look,
And that's the thing.
It's no
I
liquor.
want to say BYOB, or you may be able to
Well,
buy
that's
a
even
bottle.
better.
that's better for me because
Mm.
we know what to bring.
And then they have these ridiculously large and delicious omelets. Like I had a scallop omelet before. I've had a lobster
Oh,
omelet there. Egg white lobster omelet. That was everything.
Wow.
Oh. Okay, and then there's Jaw Grill, which is Jamaican. Norm's Bistro. They have good cocktails and their food is solid. And they also have like live jazz and stuff there. Actually, that's where I went on my last night in Chicago before I came back to Paris after the holidays. So my friends and I got together over at Norm's. And it was funny. I think I told you all this before. I was talking
Oh
with a
no, you
guy in
kind of sound
there.
like a robot. Does
Yeah.
everybody? Okay, hold on.
I thought it was my
kind
headphones.
of.
I thought it was mine.
Okay, it's like you sound like a robot. We can hear you and understand you, but you just sound like a
I
robot a little
sound
bit.
like a robot.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Just
So, you know.
go ahead, Tanisha.
And so I was talking with one of the guys in there because he was trying to put us out, and we was in there kicking it. Oh, I still sound like a robot.
Yes.
Yeah, you sound like a Monsieur all the way.
I was gonna say the
Fix
same
it, that does
thing.
Wait, unplug and plug your headphones back up.
It,
See if that works.
Oh, while Tanisha is plugging, I will say she did make me think about Richmond in terms of Jamaican. There is a restaurant called Jerk Pit right around the corner from me. They make, so yes, they have beef patty, cocoa bread, all that kind of stuff, but they make the best ginger beer that I think I've ever had.
Oh wow.
So yeah, Jerk Pit's a
I
great one
love
for me.
ginger beer.
Black-owned. I
Yeah.
do too. I stock ginger beer. Yep. Non-alcoholic ginger beer. I stock it.
Wow.
Okay, Tanisha, you're back.
Finish your list.
I'm scared to talk.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
you're
you sound just
good.
fine. You're
You
perfect.
sound
now.
good now.
I'm nervous. I don't like when y'all talk about me. I'm going to hang up. Forget it.
Don't go, please don't
I'll
go.
come back next month.
Woo.
I swear. Oh my God.
Okay, sorry.
Can you move on?
Okay, so I said Batter and Berries, Jaw Grill, Norm's Bistro. What else? Those are the ones I can think of off the top of my head. Other ones are like random places. Oh, but you know there is a black-owned restaurant month in April, and I know they're having
yeah.
No.
I know
I
they're
read
having
about
it in
it.
DC,
Mm-hmm.
and they're having it in Chicago.
Yeah.
So like go, and that's probably in New York too, for sure.
Dang.
I would be okay. I'm gonna have to look
Yeah.
that
I'm gonna
up.
have to go back.
But yeah, nationwide in April. So
City.
yeah,
Jeez.
check that out. Oh, Ain't She Sweet in Chicago? That's good. It's just like a little cafe. You want to get your sandwiches, you know, your
Mhm.
smoothies, and you know, your little soup for lunch or whatever. That's good. Black owned. Um.
Dang.
Oh, and then we didn't mention this before when we were still talking about liquor, but Melissa, you probably know him, Clyde Davis, who
Why do I know
has
that name?
the liquor importing, Team Spirits
Team
Imports.
Spirits Imports.
He does Chairman Reserve. He has Castries, the peanut liquor.
Yep.
Peanut
and
liquor?
Yeah.
it's good. It's like a cream,
Yep.
and it so
I'm gonna
just
have to
think
try
like
that.
creamy peanut buttery
Peanut butter.
liquor.
Wow.
Well, it's funny you said that. So I totally forgot about importers because Selena Cuff, she and her husband have Heritage
Yes.
Link brands,
And that's
they
what I was going to
import
say next to. Yeah.
South African wines. There you go, Tanisha. Go ahead. I kicked it off for you.
Yeah. Oh, no, you're fine. I was just thinking of Clyde because he's in D.C. And then, you know, I know that you all are close to D.C., so Clyde is there with the rum and then Cashes. And he has a couple of other things in his brand, too. But Chairman's Reserve is one of his major ones. And I think they have 3 rums.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Yeah, and then definitely Selena, who imports wine from Black South Africans,
Yep.
and she's been doing
Oh,
that for
yes.
several years.
Selena's
Yeah.
awesome.
Charlize told me about her.
And
Oh.
the wines are the ones that I've had. I haven't had like the whole line that she has, but I think Seven Sisters
Seven
is
Sisters
Oh,
one
is
of the
yeah.
ones
yeah.
I've had.
It's really good.
And then there are two more that I've had. Of course, I can't think of them off the top of my head right now. But yeah, so she does that. Who else? Because the thing about importing is you have to have so much money up front
Yeah.
to import.
Right.
Yeah.
And you have to talk to people and already have like some things lined up before you can even get the
Yeah.
permit. And when
And I
it
like
comes to
their
liquor, it's tough because laws are different from state to state and then also from county to county. So,
Yeah.
take Maryland for instance.
mm,
And the laws in PG County are different than they are in Montgomery
Right.
County, are
Yeah.
different than they are in Howard County.
Yeah.
yeah. Or you
So
could
you
live in a
can
state like me and it could be all control, all Virginia.
Mm.
right. Or how Maryland used to be where you couldn't ship to Maryland. And so that was
Yes.
posing a big problem. And the people who were committing felonies by having it shipped to
Shipped
friends
in.
in Virginia and then they just go pick it up,
Yep.
Oh.
which is highly
Yep.
illegal. But
Yep.
now that's all done and it's like legal to ship there. So
Yeah.
And I was gonna say
everything's
House of was
Oh,
it House of Mandela that you
Yeah.
were trying to
Yeah.
think of?
Mhm.
Yep.
That's taken from Heritage Link too.
Mhm. Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Well.
And then we
Uh,
didn't even talk about the celebrities, but that's
Well,
a
I wanted to
whole
that's a
nother
whole
thing.
other
Wait,
thing.
can I before we get
Yeah.
started, can I just say that my vanilla pudding is still sitting downstairs from last year? I
Well, her
couldn't do
husband
it.
got one now, so
I
we need to
couldn't
get
do
our
it.
hands on that.
I know, right? Yeah, but I could. Yeah. It's
Because
still
that's supposed to
downstairs.
be
Wait,
red
fill me
blend.
in.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Fill me in.
Gabrielle Union makes a wine called vanilla pudding, and like
Well, we're
it's a
using that
vanilla
make
pudding
lightly. Make.
Chardonnay. It's a vanilla pudding Chardonnay, and
Yep.
if you like vanilla pudding, you're gonna love it because that's exactly what it tastes like. That's
I'm going to
exactly.
tell you a secret. Vanilla pudding is probably one of my least favorite flavors in real life, but I would try the wine just
Mhm.
to see.
Yeah, go. Yeah,
Well,
go and try
good
it.
luck
It's
with that.
do y'all have Total Wine in Jersey?
Not Jersey City. We have our
Okay.
biggest is Super Buy Right,
Yeah.
so I'm
Okay.
going to have to see if they have that
Okay.
there
Yeah.
Just pop by Sarita's house.
because I don't
Wow.
Help
drive.
you out.
Ah!
Girl.
What'd you say?
You still got that bottle? She'll share it with you.
Yep. Pop
you
on
can
by
have mine.
Sarita's house.
I sent it to you.
Listen,
got
DC is not far. Do not play with me.
You're not playing. No,
She is.
slide
I'm
through.
playing.
Slide through.
Listen, don't play. I will be on a flight in 2 weeks, and you talk about I'm at the airport.
Well, if you coming all the way to DC, I'll just come on up an hour and a half, and then you can come down to Richmond.
There you go.
I told you I got a cousin there. I got cousins
I know.
in DC too.
I know.
So,
man.
I go
yeah.
up to DC all the
I was
time.
actually in
there
DC for
last
New
week.
Year's Eve.
Oh wow. Oh nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Funners.
Okay, so,
So-
what we talking? We're talking about celebrities.
Celebrities.
Yeah. Black celebrity wines.
I don't know.
Um,
I was gonna say from a.
Oh, we were. I mean, I just mentioned it since I'm like all the black celebrities have them, and so of course Gabrielle Union, and then now her husband Dwayne Wade has wine, and then of course there's E40. Marcus Johnson is kind of in that too. We mentioned him before. What's the guy the music executive who has chorus wines?
And there's
I gotta
another
look it
guy.
up.
There's another guy, an athlete that has the vegan wine. Who is that? Shoot.
I didn't
It
know
was
about
just-
that one.
There was just an article about him. Goodness. Oh, this is gonna bother me. I'll
I
have
know.
to
I'm
tweet
on
you
the
guys.
phone.
But yeah,
I'm like, I
there's
gotta figure this out.
there's an athlete.
Okay,
a
Peter
black athlete.
Massenberg has chorus wines. So he's the guy that's in music, so he has those. I've actually had those wines before. They're very good. I was impressed. I did a wine tasting. I did for Black History Month. Did a African American. Did a wine taste for African Americans, and then used that one. It was very nice. Very pleasant. It was a Chardonnay.
She said it was a check.
It was a Chardonnay. It was lovely.
All right, girl, go
Oh my
ahead.
God.
Well, I don't know, but I'll say on the spirit side, and y'all tell me, I don't know if it counts because I don't know who owns what,
Uh-oh.
Right.
major partners, but it makes me think of like Ciroc. Well, he's in, Diddy's in partnership with Diageo, or, Jay-Z
But
with
they
his.
existed.
Exactly.
Yeah, before
I
that.
used to drink Ciroc when there was no one
Yeah,
affiliated with it
exactly.
because I liked how smooth it was, and then it became like this whole nother entity.
That's because it's made from
And
grapes. That's why I get that.
I know exactly, and that's what I liked about it. I was like, can I get, it was when I first moved back up here from Atlanta, and down there I had a friend who kind of turned me on to it, and I was drinking it, and I would be at bars asking for Ciroc on the rocks, because at that point, I feel like grape vodka was kind of trying to become a trend in like 2004, 5, even kind of going into 6, and then I saw some of the brands that I liked just totally leave the shelves.
Yep.
But Ciroc stayed, and it got involved with Diddy, and he became the face, and I think it feels like Effin' Vodka is trying to kind of piggyback off of that, where they were like, hey.
I liked Effin'.
Yes, and so they said, we're a unique ingredient vodka, and we see the success that Ciroc with their grapes had with Diddy, so let's get 50.
But are they going to change it, though? Is it going to stay the same?
That's what I'm wondering, because I feel like Ciroc changed, and Effin', I don't know how much they're changing their formulas, but I know they're getting a little bit more decorative with their bottles.
Yes.
Like for Super Bowl, they had a bottle kind of cloaked in kid skin for a little while, or something that looked like a football going around the bottle in time for Super Bowl. So I know that they're doing a little bit more. They're doing some more things with their packaging that they're trying to.
Me was always sexy. I don't know.
It was, but I think that they're trying to like
don't fix it.
Well, and that's
get
part
a
of the,
little more.
Yeah, I guess.
Just a little, like a little more jazzy or swagalicious. Because we don't know how to just take the regular bottle and be happy.
Exactly.
Right.
Why
and
don't
that's
we?
part of why I say I don't know about like Jay-Z and Deuse or Nicki Minaj and what is it, MYX fusions and
it's kind of funny because it seems like Mix does kind of okay. I haven't had Mix.
I haven't either.
I'm not really a girly drinker too much. I have had a little Douce. It wasn't bad. I wasn't mad at it.
Okay.
Don't shoot me. I hope Black Twitter doesn't come for me, but Bel Air is not my cup of tea or champagne.
Okay.
But like,
I mean, everything is for everybody.
No, it's not. It's not. I like small bubbles, and the bubbles were just too big for me.
So I think there's, to Tanisha's sort of question, what about celebrity? I feel like there's a different kind of celebrity involvement or celebrity partnership endorsement on the spirit side than there is on the wine side, and I don't know why, but it's definitely different. Definitely different.
Probably club culture.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think club culture, music culture doesn't skew as much toward wine. Maybe until Drake. Drake started mentioning wine a lot in his songs, and I think that garnered a little bit of a bigger interest in wine among us. Although it seems to have kind of stopped at Riesling, like it went to Moscato and then went into Riesling and like kind of plateaued there.
Yeah.
But I think that a lot of people, we get our information often from music, so like we were talking about how craft beers aren't in our neighborhoods. And you kind of learn, like if you're one of those people who doesn't do a lot of leaving your neighborhood, you learn what you're going to learn pretty much from the other ways you ingest information, which tends to be music. People are listening to music 24/7, especially now with cell phones. So you hear something in the lyric, now you're Googling it and figuring out where to find it.
Right.
So you're like, what is this thing? And then you're going and tasting it, which is why so many brands are trying to get placed in music videos and in rap songs. Like these musicians are actually making a killing off of these brands.
Well, have y'all actually seen the Ciroc Apple commercial where they're playing Love and Happiness? Anyway, so
No.
it starts out, it's
Google
just a
this.
slow commercial of the camera going up and down the Ciroc apple bottle and playing Love and Happiness, but you find yourself, like, and then, like, I was like, I wonder what that tastes like. I don't know if it was because of the
That's
song,
amazing.
but that was it. A simple commercial with Love and
That's
Happiness,
all
and I
you
was
need
like,
because
yeah.
all you need for an ad is for it to connect with a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a copywriter by trade. So all you need for any kind of like marketing or advertising is to connect with a feeling, and if you can
Right.
connect the person with a feeling
Right.
and then associate your product with that,
Right.
you're freaking gold.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
whoever, I would love to know who that company was that did that,
Mm-hmm.
because that may be another.
For Ciroc, I don't know who it was, but Blue Flame agency does.
Which is a
does all
black-owned
of their
company.
Yeah, they handle the Diddy stuff, which includes a
That's
lot of
right.
management of Ciroc.
Mm-hmm.
Is that still Sean Perez?
I don't know that part.
Okay.
I don't
Just
know.
asking.
I feel like I have somebody's contact information in my my contacts.
I have 2 more questions, and that's it. They're very simple. My next question is, did anybody watch Cocktails with Chloe?
Uh-oh.
No.
No, that's a no. Okay. Yeah. I watched it. Don't do it. It's not about the cocktails.
Oh,
Kardashians, I thought they were really going to step their game up. I was like, oh, cocktails. All right, well, let me see. So I watched 3 episodes, and she has, like, special
You
guests.
gave it a really
like
good
that.
chance too. 3 episodes was
You
a lot.
did.
I
3.
tend to do that.
Wow.
I have commitment issues
invested.
where I commit too much to something, and I can, it's a
Are you a
problem.
Leo?
I'm not. I'm a Libra. So, and I have
okay,
a
that's true.
problem, especially because I really like TV. So a lot of times I'm not even like watching for real, but it's in the background and I'm sort of paying attention. Long story short, don't bother. Don't bother. It's not about the cocktails. It's more about her lifestyle and like her guests and stuff like that. So don't do it.
Yeah, and we go
Can I
there.
piggyback really quickly?
Sure.
Uh-oh.
Since we're talking about shows that talk about cocktails. Okay, it's not a Kardashian or super celebrity thing, but I know that there's one channel I watch that does classic movies, and they do the cocktails and classics, and that actually,
Ooh.
I mean, it focuses on the movie, but it does talk about the cocktail that's with, that they're drinking while they watch the movie and kind of like why they thought it was a good cocktail, and then
That's
they tell you
so
how to make
fun.
it.
Yeah.
It's
cool.
it's so weird. I'm an old spirit, so I watch Turner Classic movies a lot.
Wow.
And they even have like a wine club and all of this other stuff
Wow.
attached to
How
like.
nice is that? That's very
It is, and because I'm always pairing liquor and, like, I love the idea of pairing liquor and wines with things.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool. So maybe there's a way we can do that with, like, Superfly or the Mac or Friday.
Sounds like an idea for a hangout.
I know. I would love it. I hope you guys will have me do it.
No, your favorite movie and a wine to go with it.
Girl.
Give
Yeah,
us
I
a
love
movie.
it.
Come on, you know I can do that all day. As much TV as I
All day.
watch.
Listen,
No, listen,
let's
can I
see
come?
what-
Can I be invited when you do it?
Absolutely,
Absolutely.
We'll
absolutely.
see. No, I'm just playing. We got a long line of guests. I
Get
don't
an
know.
invitation tomorrow. Don't play with me.
Right.
Hold on. What
Put it
are
on
we
the
gonna call
calendar.
it? Movies?
Put it on the calendar.
Listen. Movies.
We'll come up with a
Come on.
catchy name.
Catchy
Okay.
name. Something about movie pairing.
Think about it.
And I may do
Yeah.
a cocktail instead of a wine just because you guys have wine
Melissa
covered.
usually come up. Melissa usually does that.
I do normally do that.
Melissa will have a cider pairing and be like, yeah, so I got a kombucha tea and with
I
green
do have
juice
some kombucha
pairing
ginger
for the
in there.
family.
Oh,
in there.
I just had a really good kombucha over during the week, and they have some flavors that taste similar to wines and cocktails, which I thought was really interesting as well.
Wow. Interesting.
Not black owned, but really
I
cool.
know.
I know.
We're gonna
We
get
gotta
there.
put that caveat on everything. So not black owned, but
So I've got to
I feel like I have to like put that disclaimer out.
it's fine.
I will find it for you guys, but there is a black woman in Norfolk, Virginia that has her own kombucha company. So there is one. At least
I
that I know.
read about this. Somebody,
Yes.
did you tweet me this? Somebody tweeted this to me.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's a black woman kombucha company in Norfolk, Virginia.
because she started it like at her house, and
At her
then she
house.
got a space.
Yep, she got a space, and then now she's stopped
my
the space
sister-in-law
because
tweeted
she's
it.
working on production. She's working on getting in the off-premise. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Awesome.
Wow.
I know there's so many people to talk to and reach out to and
Yeah.
give
Yeah.
shout-outs to.
Mhm.
which is
Absolutely.
actually wonderful.
Yeah.
I know.
I'd rather
Alright,
there be more than less.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
But also, just want to say, if you're looking for, to all our, thousands of viewers out there, if you're looking for additional blacks and wines, spirits, and beers, Cuisine Noir, the online magazine, they have a page on their
Yes.
website
Yep.
that has like
Mhm.
a list on there. So that's something that you can check out. If there's somebody that we said and you didn't quite catch it, or you're looking for some ones that we didn't mention, they have a very nice and extensive
Yeah.
list on their website. So definitely check that out. And that's Cuisine Noir magazine online.
Very cool.
Very nice.
So, I have the
Awesome.
jokes, but I got to come through with some information every now and again.
Well, this was awesome, Nafeesa. We're so happy to have you. You were so
Thanks,
awesome, and you weren't
Nafeesa.
camera shy at all. You
Thank
were
you.
totally
Oh, no,
awesome.
she came right with it. She
So,
was like, oh, wait, is this
Uh-huh.
on? Is this
How
on
is
me?
anybody? How is anybody that go right?
See, I put my lip gloss on. I'm ready for y'all.
Thank you. I'm so glad we connected and I was able to join in here. This is the highlight of my week, and it's just starting.
Oh, yay, yay.
Well,
So,
that might change tomorrow, but, we'll
our
take it for
next,
today.
absolutely. Our next few
I hope it
episodes are
does,
going
because
to
if this is how I'm starting, then yeah.
Right.
There you
No
go.
way to go but up.
There
All
you
right,
go.
shut it down, Sarita. Bring us
All right,
home.
so our
Okay.
next few hangouts are going to be careers in wine and spirits. That's the next one. Then we're going to do local wine, beer, and spirits. That's at the end of March. April, we're going to do wine faults. We're going to have a guest on here, and she's going to describe wine faults and the different types and how you detect them and all that kind of stuff. I think that's about it so far, but we're going to add movies and wines. Okay, we're going to add that toward the summer. But, yeah, thanks for joining. If you're watching us on the replay, we
Yes,
appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Yes,
Thank
thanks for
you.
joining us, Swell Suite. Happy Sunday.
Thanks, y'all.
Bye.
Sunday,
Thank
Sunday.